Hello and welcome. In this tutorial, we will be going over how to create a top. Um, but some other subtopics we'll be going over is how to import an image and use that image for sketching, and then we'll also be utilizing the Spline Tool, which is a great tool to learn how to use to make organic shapes. So let us begin. And also, the top will be 3D printable, and I'll go over how to export that file, and then you could actually 3D print this top. And I have 3D printed this top, and it actually works very well. So if you want to go ahead and do it and try it out, it'll definitely work out. All right, so let me just begin with a clean slate here. I'm gonna delete this image and delete Creative Part Studio. All right. So for this one, I'm using the Forever Spin model, and I'm just going to look it up. So I had already looked up this type of top before, so I was familiar with it, and it's a very nice shape, and it works out well. So I'm just going to take this image here. So I just searched up Forever Top, and I'm just going to right click here and then save image as. And then I'm just going to save image as top, and a JPEG is fine. I'm just going to throw it on my desktop because I'm going to just import it anyway. Already exists, yes, because I already did this. And then I'm going to, so once you're in your documents here, in your document that you created, click on the plus sign and then click on import. And then if you click into top, which is right there, it's going to upload this top photo. So once you have that uploaded into your documents, so Onshape is really cool in that you can upload pretty much everything into this document when you're creating a design or whatever, and you use it like in this document. It's very convenient. All right, so what we're going to do now is create a sketch. So click on sketch, and then click on front plane, and then the N key to get normal to that plane. And now I'm going to go up here where it says DXF, and I'm not going to import a DXF, but I'm going to insert an image. So when I click that, I'm going to see that I have my top, which is in this document. Click on there, and then when I start to draw this image, it's come out like that. And now you have an image to kind of work off of. So again, I'm going to be using the Spline Tool and circles, and I'm going to use the mirror. Actually, no, sorry, I'm not going to use the mirror command. I'm going to use the revolve. So the first thing I kind of want to do is eyeball my shape, right? I have a circle. Definitely have a half circle up here. I have a half circle, almost a half circle, but then it kind of there's a tangent edge that just comes out of it. So I'm just looking kind of at the silhouette here. I'm not looking at the curves on the inside. I'm just looking at the silhouette. So I'm going to start with my circle, and I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm going to zoom in here and try to get about to the center. And take your time with this. And that looks pretty good. I'm going to click there. And I'm not messing with any dimensions or anything because this is just going to be a 3D printable export. And I don't have to have anything perfect, or I'm not really looking at dimensions, as I'm looking more at the shape. So then I'm going to come down, and this is going to be my mirror line. So what I'm going to do is just hover over this and bring it all the way down, and then zoom in here and create another circle. And again, it's okay if it's a little bit out of the line. We're only going to be using half of the shape. So if I'm not satisfied with that, I can move it around. And I mean, this isn't a perfect image because I'm seeing the three-dimensional surface, right? So there is some sort of angle, and by perfect image I mean perfectly flat, right? So I'm not really seeing, like, I'm at an angle with this image. So that looks good enough. And then I'm going to use this line tool, and I'm going to cut it in half. I'm going to go from the top all the way down to the bottom here. Click there, and then hit escape. So from here, I'm going to start to use my spline tool. So I suggest you kind of mess around maybe on the side here to see what the spline tool does. So what it does, and then you can just escape and Control Z to get rid of it. So what it does is it creates curves. So it creates curves around points. So these points are kind of like inflection points. So where the line, where the curve kind of bends, right? There are points where it bends. And then if you click again, you bend the whole curve when you move around. So play around with that tool, and then once you're kind of comfortable using it, come back into here. And I'm just going to choose a point here and start drawing my line, my spline. And I'm just going to kind of go along this edge of the top. Come down. Keep coming. Until I get to about here. Then I'm going to hit escape. And that just freezes the whole spline. And I stopped there because I'm just going to have a straight line coming down to about there. So since I have that curve, again, take your time do this as many times as you need to get that shape just right. And now I'm going to come down from there to about there, hit escape, got my straight line. Then I'm going to come back into the Spline tool. And I'm going to start at the other end. I'm going to start down here and start making the curve. Come up, up, keep going around. Come up this way, and then end it, and then how to get out, you're just going to hit escape. And I'm pretty satisfied with this. Now what you could do if you want to add another point, so click on this point. So right here I could bend that out a little bit more. So I'm going to click there, click out of the point, and I'm just going to click and drag. And I can bend it out a little bit more if I wanted to. So that looks pretty good. Now what I'm going to do, right, I'm going to keep this shape here. And I'm going to revolve it around this axis. So the first thing I want to do though is trim. And I need to trim any sort of intersecting lines with my object. Like I just want this shape. I just want half of this top. So I'm going to come around, click, click, and let's click this. There we go. So it's just right. And I'm going to revolve. And then it's going to ask me what axis. I'm going to click on the axis. And then it kind of looks like the actual image when it gets revolved. And now if we look at it, it does look that way. So pretty cool. And that's pretty much how you use the Spline tool, how you import an image. And I'm going to just show you the last part, which is exporting it to an Stl file. So that's a file that's used to 3D print things. So what it is it's a file that contains a bunch of triangles. So the file actually converts this shape into millions and millions of triangles, and a slicer program can read that. And what the slicer program does is it slices up all of those triangles into layers. And then G-code can be created because each layer has a geometry. And the tool that the G-code would be programmed for would just follow that each slice. So what you're going to want to do to get that Stl file is you're going to right click here, right on your part, click on export. A good file name is always, so I would put your name, especially if your teacher or someone is going to come around and collect this. So put your name and then what it is that you're printing. And whatever units you're using to draw in is, because you're probably referencing those dimensions a little bit. you definitely want to export it as that unit. So inch STL format is fine, and we want binary, not text. And then you're gonna click on OK, and then it's gonna actually download that STL file. So that's kind of the basics here. How you would, again, import an image, use that image in a sketch to create some splines, and then revolve the top, revolve the sketch to make a 3D part, which you can then 3D print. So I hope this is helpful for you all, and good luck.